All right. Hello, everyone, whoever you are. And of course, Sandra, I am Kurt Browning, or what's left of him. That's the joke. And my cohort today, as usual, Sandra Bezic. Good to see you almost live.
It's great to see you, Kurt, and thank you for having me. And I'm excited to be here to answer questions from fans and from you about our 30 years together.
30 plus years. I think our first,
yeah.
I think it was 87.
Oh boy. So
it was 1987. So we've got questions from a few fans. Of course, this will be on the Kurt Files website, which is where I go to find out about me. When I don't remember what programs I skated or what music I've skated to, it's all there. So thank you, Tina Tyan, for bringing us together and making this happen. It's going to be fun. Okay, so let's get started. So they've given us some questions. So we've got our cheat sheets, and I've got my appropriate shirt, I think. I don't know what year this is.
That's so good. Stars on Ice. I don't know what year that is.
1993.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of bringing out anything from our past.
Well, I only own Stars on Ice shirts, so it's just close my eyes.
Yeah, no, I've been wearing swag the whole time since COVID. Like that's, today I actually got dressed up and dried the back of my hair. Usually for Zooms, I only do the front now because there's no reason to dry the back of your hair.
So you dry your hair and I shaved my head for this. So
well, it's a big day.
All right, first question is for both of us, and I'll go first. This is about memories. Ironically, we've already basically answered this question. What do you remember about the first time you worked together, which was, I think, in 1987 for my long program?
Yeah.
Grand Suites? Was it Grand Canyon Suite?
Grand Canyon Suites. And I do remember that I went out to Edmonton.
Nope.
Okay, so no, we did both because I know I went out there, but backing up before that, I remember watching you at Nationals and Louis Stong coming up to me and saying, this was during a practice, and he's saying, he's going to be something. And I was like, yeah, he really is. And then shortly after that, I got a call to come and work with you, and I'm not quite sure which was first. You came to Toronto or I went out to Edmonton, because I do remember working at the Glenora with you, the Royal Glenora.
So I think first I came to Toronto, and it was a big deal for the country kid to fly to Toronto.
Okay.
The subway system and find your house, and it was all like a lot.
Yeah, you got lost a lot. I remember that.
Yeah.
You still get lost a lot.
I think I found my way here to you today. The program went well. What happened was that I think I went home and I got 2 or 3 new triples, like before the first time or the second time I got to really debut it, which didn't go well with you because we had to kind of change the program a lot to jam these in.
Then maybe that's why I came out, to rearrange the program. But when you first start something like that, it's a shot in the dark, right? We didn't really know each other, and I knew you were scary talented, and that the jumps were just
out of control,
crazy, and that you were this well, I mean, as I said, just amazingly talented, and so choosing the music was really tough. I kind of wanted to capture your Western influence and Alberta and all of that in your program, so that it was something that was honest to you or true to you or relatable. So that's where I went. But I do remember just being blown away by how incredibly talented.
I watch old footage, and it literally looks like when I jump that a gust of wind comes along and just like takes me sideways and I'm flying through the air. I must have had springs for legs. It was
and those were the days when you threw yourself up in the air before really thinking about what would happen or how you'd land it, because you were like a cat, you usually landed it. But if you didn't, you'd be any which way, and we'd all be like, oh no.
Anything
But
could happen.
you were also like rubber. You never injured yourself at that time. You just got up and kind of shook yourself off and went and did another one.
Yeah, probably my best talent is falling.
Well, but
Really
I mean,
good at
no, I mean, you just leaped. You just leaped and didn't really put a lot of thought into it. And the natural gift there was phenomenal. And your spring, as you said, your spring was unbelievable.
I watch it like crazy. That music was great for me, by the way. I still can remember a certain feeling of skating to it that was fun, and there was a certain pride and ownership there that I really liked. All right, so part two. Do you have a shorthand after working together for so long? Oh, yes, I think we do. If I understand the question right, like, do you and I have shortcuts for working together because 30 years plus? For example, Battle of the Blades is the blood in the cut, or blood in the
in your blood.
In your blood when we did that last year. And I think that you know me so well, and I can sometimes throw stuff out, and the things that I throw out as suggestions are more valuable than they used to be, because I can kind of know what direction you're thinking. And so I think we do have a shorthand.
We do. We do. We are so collaborative, and we work so spontaneously off each other. And I watch you like a hawk. I always have to kind of draw what you do naturally, so that I can kind of turn it around and give it back to you. So we do, and I know that one of the questions here is that, is have we ever had drastic disagreements in our choreography? And I can honestly say that no, because it's been always collaborative. And if you don't like something, then of course I'll change it. And if I don't like something, of course you'll change it. So there was never a point where we disagreed. We just worked together with the common goal always. So, and that process over the years has just become, I think, more and more second nature to us, more and more natural, and almost like unspoken in a way. We can just look at each other's facial expressions, right? And we know. Okay, so that didn't work. Let's moving on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
easier for me to know when it's good than when it wasn't. Like, cause you wear that mask better, but when it's good, you can't hide it. Like when
really?
That was a good, like,
Paul Martini makes fun of that too. He teases me when I jump up and down and get excited. I forget that. I think what's in our process, and I hope this is the same for you, the best thing for me is when I get to lose myself in the work. And so I'm not self-conscious. I mean, Kurt, before I step on the ice, every time for 33 years, I have been intimidated by your talent. And I want to live up to it. And that is the absolute truth. And so being able to lose myself so that we hit that sweet spot, and it just then works, and we feed off each other, is for me it's why I go to the rink to see you, because it's just such a joy. I mean, a bunch of other reasons, but
hard work is enjoy it, and hard work is easier when you enjoy it. And it is hard work because the expectations are very high, not only for you from the skating world, but for you from the skaters who keep coming to you for more magic and more magic and more magic. And so I think that after a while, there is a tipping point after 15 or 18 years where you start to realize, no, it has to be this.
Yeah.
You just can't keep going to the Bezic well and expect. You have to participate.
Oh, right. No. I mean, there is no Bezic well. The Bezic well comes from the collaboration. And my well is my knowledge and my experience, but the freshness of any piece, it comes from the person I'm working with. Yeah. So you contribute so much in the process, and it's so inspiring. So that that,
There was,
yeah. Sorry.
there's a slight delay, so we might look like we're stepping on each other a lot. That's not on purpose by either one of us. But there was a time when I was doing 6 to 12 numbers a year.
Mm-hmm.
And so then there was a lot of fast food choreography done to save money on yourself. And it was always like you might have been a tiny bit intimidated, which is neat to hear, kind of fun. I wish I'd known I had that power, and I'm glad I didn't.
Oh my God.
But for you, it was maybe a little bit the opposite, in that finally when I got to a Stars and Ice program, or this is I'm going to compete at World Professional, whatever it's going to be, and then I rely on you, the heavy hitter, then I go, oh, and I know I had to be skating well and smart and fit and all that stuff, but I could relax and then kind of just put myself out there. So I too felt with you the ability to be wrong, like to try something and to have it dismissed, and that was going to be okay too.
Right.
To just blow it off, or to do a move, or to go with a different direction, and be okay with being wrong, and knowing that we're just chugging along till we do find the right thing.
Exactly. And it's that safe zone that you have to create. As a choreographer, you have to create that safe zone where mistakes can be made, bad ideas can happen, because they all lead to good ideas. And
But I mean,
it goes both ways, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't mean like we haven't had major disagreements, but it's frustrating. It can be very, very frustrating, because
Yeah.
I'm frustrated used to get with me when I couldn't do what I did yesterday again.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell the difference between yesterday and today.
Yeah.
I think now I'm better at telling the difference between yesterday and today.
Oh yeah.
But I just not be able to. And also you taught me to start trusting choreography. Like if it worked yesterday, do it again. Don't feel, and like after 65 cities on tour, you had to trust it still. So I learned so much.
But you see, for every skater, every skater goes through those stages in life, and you have different hopes and dreams, and you have different goals, right? And they evolve. And I've had the privilege of riding these 30 years with you as I've gone through my own personal transitions, but you've also gone through yours. And so back in the day, your goal was to be, the first man to land a quad. And then slowly over the years, your priorities have changed, and now you're such an artist. And so that's the beauty of figure skating too, is that you can have all that in the body of a career. And that's what makes it so exciting. And so to be on that road with you, on that journey with you, that I speak with my hands, is so fulfilling. So here we are. What's our next question?
I was gonna say, that was a great little well hole to get down, the Sandra Bezic well hole. How would you describe the other as a collaborator? I think we've done that.
Yeah.
Why do you think you work well together? I think we've done that. So I'm going to check that off. For Kurt, this is a question for me.
What's your favorite part of a program that didn't make it into the final version?
I can't think of anything. I know that occasionally, at least twice, I've gone, when do I get to do a number in drag? And you kept saying no.
I have my K cup, by the way.
I know who that.
So I did think about my cup. It's not my S cup, it's my K cup for Kurt. We never did do a drag number.
Well, Stars,
but why not?
Ken.
I did. Yeah. We did in group. Yes, I still have a picture of you boys.
That's funny.
In your boas and your fishnets.
What lessons did you take from Sandra as a choreographer? Those will keep coming out, I'm sure, either directly or through advice, or indirectly from observation. I think that one of the things that I teach kids all the time is direction, and especially coming in and out. Oh, there's Christy in the background. Oh, the other background.
Yeah, she's looking over my shoulder.
That's awesome. So is the direction you are headed to get power out of the corner or how long it takes, how much music do you want to use to get out of a corner. Like where you're headed is really a lot more important than people think. And that's something that I use all the time. And I definitely learned that from you.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Okay, what do you think was our most underrated collaboration?
Like, I feel like it's what program did we do that didn't quite get as much attention as you thought it might have, or it was more important to us?
That we really liked, that maybe other people didn't really like? Well, so much of what we do depends on what other people think, that if it didn't work, it didn't work. So then we don't kind of like it, right?
Yeah, yeah, because you have this expectation and this dreams of what's going to be like to skate it, and it's not.
And
Or
then
people don't say the things that you hope that they would. They say something else, and you're like, oh.
Exactly. And so then you think, well, how do I make that better? How do I make that work?
Well, I got a cheat sheet here of a bunch of our programs together.
Yeah, I don't even remember some of these.
Well, holy crap. I'm reading How Do You Keep the Music Playing, which was a Tony Bennett song, or that version. And I saw it, I think Tina put it up on her Twitter, and I pushed play. Holy crap, what a great program. And I think that might be, just looking through our list, definitely one of the options of didn't get as much attention or respect or feedback as maybe I thought it should have. Because when I watched it again, the costume, Jeff Billings' costume, the temperament, the ice moves on the bottom and that slide on the arm, which again kind of
we got to use that again.
It was in the blood a little bit last year.
A little bit, yeah.
It was beautiful. That I actually rewound the parts of it to watch it again. Did I text you after that? I think I did.
Well, you might have, because we were going back and forth about it, because I saw it at the same time, and I honestly, I don't usually forget my programs.
Yeah,
I forgot that one. Right? I forgot that one. And about a year ago, David Wilson said to me, my favorite Kurt program you did was that one. And I'm sitting there going, oh, I'll have to look at that sometime.
Yeah.
And so then Tina posted it, somebody sent it to me, and I was sitting crying watching it. I sent it to Joan Tassoni, who shot it for Stars on Ice.
Directed it.
Texting me back crying, and you and I had our exchange, and then it all started coming back to me how important that program was to us, and I don't remember why it got lost. It
didn't, I don't know, somehow. It's interesting. But it's interesting that you and I lost it.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even know what people thought.
And that David
Wilson,
of everything, he said it's that one.
That's really interesting. You mentioned how long my career has been lucky enough to be, and our collaboration has existed all the way through it in different forms and different ways. And I think that many times we didn't know in the last third of my career if this was it.
Yeah.
I've stood in the tunnel in Stars on Ice 5 or 6 times in my life and said, and definitively said in my mind, this is it. And then I'm back 2 years later, or I'm back again for whatever reason, or motivated, or who knows. So I think that one was one of those swells in the emotions of my career, where you're like, this music's saying something.
This could be it.
Yeah. Very good question. Very cool question. All right. Here's one for you. What's your first thought when I call you to work on something? Yes, is it? No.
My first thought?
No, what's your first thought? I hope he doesn't want to pick the music.
No. I used to be, it depends. It always kind of depended on what was going on with life, and whether it became a pressure to live up to something, or to, produce, or an excitement on an idea. But now I'll do anything with you at the rink. There's no hesitation. And it's just because the process is way more important to me, more important than anything. It's always been important, but the process with you wins, and getting to spend a couple of hours with you on the ice. Hey, I don't need a reason.
Love you too. Do you remember when I got myself into a jam and I called you and I was like, I need a program in 3 days. I'm disappointed with my decisions. I'm in trouble. And we ended up with Mr. Bojangles.
Oh.
That
yeah.
came, and I think I brought the music idea, but that came together like that. And then the Jeff Billings, once again, costume and the lighting with the 3 spots of like one of my favorite programs. And there was not a whole lot of thought. We just pushed through it really quickly. And out came this, what I think is one of my favorite programs.
Well, I think too, I mean, Kurt, you and we're going to be there if the other makes a phone call, whether it's skating related or not. I mean, that's our 33-year relationship. I'm starting to tear up. So it doesn't matter why you call. I'm there.
Well, that was a good. All right, let's not have you tear up because you did the back of your hair. So let's.
I did the back of my hair. I could spin around and prove it.
This is a fun.
Pardon?
Oh,
my question. I have a question for you.
This is like a photocopy of what you get if you don't win a medal at the Olympics in 1992. You get a piece of paper that says you went there. So that's what. I
have a little medal from 72, a participation medal from 72.
Yeah, that's you and I, Olympic participant medal holders.
Okay, it's my turn. It's my turn.
Oh, it is your turn.
Okay. What's a story we've never told about filming? You must remember this.
You must remember this. We did a lot of chair ballet upstairs off ice. That was mostly with the Insight Productions team.
Okay, I don't remember that.
But on the ice, I think that it was I Knew You Were Pregnant day?
Yeah.
That's a story that basically nobody knows.
Does nobody know that?
Well, I don't think.
Well, it's worth telling. I think it's worth telling. Yeah. Okay. Over to you. You can tell it.
Well, okay, but I don't know.
I'll add color. Pardon?
You had not told
anybody. It was weeks. And
I don't know why I knew. I don't remember definitively why I would know, but I remember I just like something was weird and something was different. And then I just looked at you and I said, "Are you pregnant?" I mean, like literally that blunt, just kind of.
And my eyes were like, I had just found out it was truly weeks. And a lot of women go through this when they're first pregnant. Your balance is shot. And I was like this on the ice, kind of like I am now, but back then. And you looked at me. We were shooting that day.
Yeah.
And you looked at me and said, "You're pregnant, aren't you?"
Oh, is that what it was? You're pregnant.
Yeah. It was in the Kurt way, right? "You're pregnant, aren't you?" And I was like, "How did you know?" So, and yes, I was, and that was a really cool day. It was a beautiful day. Yeah,
those TV specials, 2 TV specials that we've done together, and I have, I'll be right back in 20 seconds. I have so many pictures. I've got so many of these, and they're pages to pick pictures from.
Oh.
And they're us working on the ice together in, I think, what is now called the Kurt Browning Arena. Back then it was just the
Oh, is that so great?
And I've got so many of these, and this is you and I right there, for example.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. No, I can see it.
I've got so many pictures, and we've just got so many crazy memories. And it's funny because people are like, "What do you remember from touring?" And it's usually not the program. it's usually the
All the
travel,
stuff around
friendship,
it. Yeah.
and it's all held together by good skating. I mean,
Yeah.
like as soon as the skating is good, everything else seems to take care of itself.
Yeah.
And I think that it's really, really, really important to to know that the working is fun, and the creativity is fun and everything, but honestly, you really do want the finish. You want success.
You
You
want the
want
product.
the happiness and the pride and the success and the ability to get invited back. I've
Yes.
always, that's what I was skating for.
Yeah.
Every time I skated, it was an audition for the next time.
Yeah.
And I still think that way. And so that was in my hometown.
Do you remember? Oh, okay. Well, two stories from that special. One is the rodeo clown, and
Tall in the
who
Saddle.
was the cow. Remember?
Kevin Cottam and you.
Yeah, because there was a snowstorm, and I think it was supposed to be Michael Slipchuk and Norm Proft who were going to be the cow, the rodeo cow for the rodeo clown. And that morning there was a snowstorm, and so the producers come and say there's nobody to do the clown, or to do the cow, excuse me.
It was actually
And
supposed to be.
so I turned to Kevin Cottam and say, I'll do it if I'm the front end. And so Kevin Cottam and I are the cow. So, and that's not the first time I've been a cow. Or not the last time, I should say. Not the last time I choreographed a cow, because I also choreographed a cow for Liz Manley's special. So I have a long history with cows. But you did the whole, rope the cow and the whole thing, and my feet were up and boom, and the whole shtick. And that was Kevin Cottam and me. And then the other story that I have from that special is, do you remember how mad you were at me on the Lake of Dreams, because I was making you do a triple axel, and the wind was blowing you over, and it was 30 below, and the ice was impossible, and the wind.
Right on the table over there, I have all these pictures. They're all open right now.
I kept saying to you, but it's on film, it's forever, you've got to do it. And you were so mad at me, and then I felt so guilty.
I had lost whatever that switch is that believes you can do it, and it was on off, and I landed the first one, but not very well.
Yeah,
and we ended up using
it. Wasn't good enough.
But it was good, but just not good enough. Which is,
I'm sorry, but
very famous.
But you did do it.
What? Do you remember when I took my frustration out by pushing you across the ice?
Yeah.
She was sitting on the lake, and the wind is blowing, and I get my toe picks in the ice, and I pushed you like
I'm in my snowsuit.
50 yards across the ice on a snowsuit.
You just pushed me upwind or downwind or whatever it was. Yeah.
I measured my triple sow that day, and it was 13 blade lengths long, downwind, 3 upwind.
I remember that.
It was really cool.
Unbelievable, because the wind just took you, and remember you were jumping over snow banks and everything. It was incredible. And the night before, the production, the ice was cleared, the snow was cleared by inmates in a local prison for that. So lots of stories for that special.
Lots of orange jumpsuits all over the ice with flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Healing cracks in the ice with flamethrowers. So we gave inmates flamethrowers. And,
it was a crazy time, but I remember so much of that like it was yesterday. Okay.
We're kind of answering questions ahead of time. What's been your most fun experience choreographing a program? For me, that's a question for you. And what was the most frustrating? So what's been the most fun experience choreographing for this guy?
My most fun was also my most scary, and that was Raggedin. And remember, because
Raggedin the Clown.
Raggedin the Clown, and it was the most fun because of you, and it was the most scary because we were trying to do something funny, and you don't know if it's funny until it's in front of an audience.
Yeah.
And then you don't even know if it's funny the second time you do something. It could be really funny, and then all of a sudden it's gone. And so I was really, really nervous with that, because it's like writing comedy.
Yeah, flop or fly, right?
Exactly. And, you know, I don't ever want to send you out to flop. And you're the one who has to own it, right?
It was definitely a program that was not hidden by a lot of skating that was obvious. It was definitely a program where you were trying to elicit a completely different response from a skating crowd. The way it started by just standing there and having the smallest little corrections that I was making. And quick question, who found the music? You, Michael Siebert?
You did.
No.
You did. Okay, so this is what, yes, you did. I could be totally wrong. This is my memory.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Michael and I were talking, because as we did every year for Stars on Ice, we went through each cast member and decided and discussed where they should go next in their creative development. What else could they do? What else could they say? What else have we not done in the show? And that was our process every season. And when we got to you, and we were looking for something different, he said, what about a clown? And in the meantime, around the same time, you sent me, this is my memory, I could be completely fabricating this, but this is my memory. You sent me that track and said, I don't know what to do with this, but it really intrigues me. And then I said to Michael, you know, he sent me this track. And I when I listened to it, I saw Raggy. It told me who this clown was. And so then you and I went to the rink. And in the meantime, we did our clown production number that you were, you know, going to fit in or not. But that's where the whole clown everything came from. And I'm not quite sure whether you and I ended up doing the number after we did the clown production for Stars on Ice or before, because you weren't in the US tour that year. But the idea for you inspired the whole thing, and then ultimately the Canadian tour. But your number needed to be a standalone. It wasn't for the show. It was for you to compete with and all those pro competitions. And so I was scared to death to come up with something that with you that could resonate with an audience that was different and fun, and we essentially let the music tell us what to do.
I want it to be smart. I want it to be smart. I'm shocked. I thought Michael found that music.
No. It came from you, because I remember you saying, this really, I found this and it's cool, but I don't know what to do with it.
And I remember you guys saying, we don't want to edit it. We're like literally, our instinct is it would be, this is a really long silence. But
and leave it.
But we didn't change anything. The music is just the way the music was, just the violin. Yeah.
And we let the music tell us what to do. And that's where Raggy came from.
I'm completely aghast. I'm Rudy Galindo clutching my pearls, aghast. I can't.
Yeah.
I didn't know that came from me.
It came from you. It came from you. But the original clown idea came from Michael. And then you and I went on the ice and did our thing. Meanwhile, Michael and I went on the ice and did the Stars on Ice.
Quick shout out to Michael Siebert, because he's been beside you for so long. He's been very, very dry desert of humor for so long. And he's Why Brick House happened.
Yes. And this is really cool too, because it was Michael's idea, the music, right, with you. And we thought it needed some more outside influence. And so I'm not sure if I already knew Clarence Ford, but that's the first time we actually worked with Clarence Ford, and you and Michael and Clarence did the choreography. And that's when we met Orrin Isaacs, who did the music, the you know, sort of effects on the music. And Orrin Isaacs is, for the last 30 years, is the music producer in Canada for all the TV shows. And he's been behind music and figure skating, you know, in a distant way all of this time. And he's behind the music of Battle of Blades and so many things we do. And you know,
and Caitlin Osmond's new number that I worked with her, I use his magic all the time.
All the time. And Clarence Ford, I was just talking to yesterday, actually. He called me and we were talking about Brick House and all of that, you know, and his impact on the skating world. And it's just really cool. The whole story is really cool. And it's an iconic number that you all created.
Good shout outs.
Yeah. And Michael is, you know, a genius and behind so many fantastic ideas, and we've collaborated. I mean, the idea. Oh, that's a son?
That's my son.
I like shoes, sorry.
Oh, wait.
Hello.
Oh, he's putting games or something. Do you remember when I would do something on the ice when we were trying to figure out Raggy, and you would stand there and you'd go, "Now that's funny," but you wouldn't smile? That was Gabriel.
Hi, Gabriel. Wow. I haven't seen him in ages.
Bigger than me now. Yeah, and so that's
funny. No, that's not funny.
Not funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
You rarely laughed.
Sometimes I was laughing until I was crying, because that's what you do to me. You make me laugh so hard from my belly till tears are coming down, and that's the truth too, right?
Remember, I was so excited, Barbara Under, who was there, I was so excited, and I was talking, and then I skated away, and then I came straight back, like, straight back, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? And both of you just, like, that was it for 5 minutes, because I don't know, I was just so excited that I'd forgotten what I was supposed to do.
And one of the questions here is one of the funniest things from Stars on Ice, and but still, I mean, the funniest thing for me from Stars on Ice is at the Mirror Lake Inn in the hotel.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, now we have to explain it.
For some reason, very unprofessionally, the cast and the creative crew stayed up very late before our show.
Oh, was that before the show?
Before the show. And everyone nailed the show. It was like sometimes when the comes together, and even though it's a late night, there's just so much synergy and so much connection, so much love and friendship that the skating just takes care of itself. That's what happened the next day. But we were across the street from this place called the Chalet, no, the Cottage.
The Cottage.
And we were all there, and it was a wonderful night. And you walked home, and I walked home behind you. So I crossed the road and up the stairs into the hotel.
And I didn't know you were behind me.
I don't know. I don't think you took the elevator. I may have got in the elevator behind you, literally. And you didn't know I was behind you the whole time down this 200-yard-long hallway. And then you were putting your key in the door, and I think I said, "Good night." I think you peed.
I laughed. So I screeched and I laughed. I mean, you were behind me step for step.
I was like matching your feet. I was going, how is she not knowing that?
I was in Sandra Land. It's a wondrous place. Anyway, I guess that's a private joke, but it's when you made me laugh the hardest. Okay.
Here's a couple questions I think we've answered. Program's popularity that surprised you. It was definitely Raggy, because people fell in love with that character so much. What's the biggest risk you've taken in a piece of choreography? Probably the same again.
Yeah.
What song you wish I'd skated to, but I haven't? Sandra.
Oh gosh. I don't know. I think we've done everything. No, I don't know. I can't answer that one. I
agree with you. It's an impossible question to answer. Do you have any more questions on your list? for me.
Okay, hold on a second.
I love how our glasses are going on and off now. On and off.
What's a program? I think we've answered.
We're so good. We'll do our.
I think this is really good. This isn't about skating. I think I really like this question. What is something that might surprise people about the other person? So what do I know about you that might surprise people? And I was thinking about that when I got the questions. And I think, you know, you're so open and people love you because you're so open, but I don't know if they realize that you also are very private. And there's lots that you protect in your privacy. And even though you're completely open as a performer and as a person, there's sacred stuff that is close to your heart and it's private. And I really like that. And the other thing they might not know about you is that you like to work with your hands, like you like to do woodwork or leather work and stuff like that. And over the years, you've given me gifts and things that you've made. And
Yeah.
I don't know if people know that about you or not.
Yeah, I've been making furniture lately. And
Yeah.
Joseph Sawchuk and I are both like into woodwork now. And
That's
we
cool.
connect
Yeah.
on that one. Yeah, I think I'm more private than people think. If you try to follow me on any online, you know, Twitter or whatever, then be frustrated because I just don't take pictures of my food and put it out there very often. I love when I'm with people, I'm 110% with you, and that's somebody in the elevator or a group of fans or an audience on the ice. I'm there. And then when I'm not there, I'm not there.
I mean, I think people know you run deep because you wouldn't be able to perform the way you do if you didn't run deep, but you run way deeper than at first glance. And that's nice.
What do people not know about you? I think that they see you as a skater. They can watch footage of you as one of the best skaters ever on YouTube and in your past.
No, please don't skip them there, please. No.
It's probably why I knew you were pregnant, because literally there is a lightness and a breath in your skating that, you know, when it's missing, it's like oxygen. It's like, where is that? So we see you as this person who's always in control, who's got the magic touch, who's got the right decisions, and yet that's not the most important thing to you at all, Mother Bear. So it's probably motherhood that's more important than any of those things, if I'm not mistaken. That people probably don't realize how important, you know, your relationships are off the ice, starting with motherhood, but not ending there. And I think that that's one of the reasons why you are a good person at directing and producing and choreography and helping people, because the relationships are first. So you feel and then you act. Mm-hmm. And that's probably something that people didn't realize about you. You're one hell of a good mom.
Thank you.
All right. We could revisit a few programs. They asked us to do that.
Well,
I think that would be kind of let's do quickly. Let's try and give somebody something about Casablanca, something about little tiny thing about a few things. Like Casablanca was found by Mary Jane Stong, Louis Stang, my coach Louis Stong's wife. Mm-hmm. And it was the first time I think I was really an adult, like really.
Well, you know what was really great is you were already world champion 3 times. You were an adult, and you also had, in a way, nothing to prove. And so you were ready to take a new step, and that really excited you. And that was, I think you got a taste of the acting kind of thing on ice acting in the TV show.
And then you grow with that in Stars and Ice. The Casablanca had a twist of humor to it as well. Right. It was really a fun year. Even though they looked to go my way,
Yeah.
it was still a fantastic.
It was a real year of development for you as a performer, and probably for me as a choreographer, because I got to do that with you. And so I think it was a real turning point in many respects, maybe for both of us.
I loved it. Crash Into Me.
I like that one. I don't know if you like that one. I like that one.
I loved it. I thought that it was, I really loved the slides, the 4 slides at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then the single axle was stopped on the last note. It churned my butter.
It churned like the song churned, and it was, yeah.
Don't Fence Me In.
Okay, so that one was awful. I blew it. Okay, so this was an idea. This was Michael's idea, and he had a vision. Siebert.
Yeah, stripper cowboy.
Pardon?
Stripper cowboy.
Stripper cowboy. I couldn't choreograph my way out of that paper bag. I could not figure it out. And I was trying to live up to Michael's idea, and I bet he should have just choreographed it, because I was strangling myself, and it was I had a real trouble with the tempo. It was awful, Kurt. I'm so sorry. It was awful.
That's funny.
Please, nobody look at it, please.
I loved it. I loved skating it. I loved performing it. It was
really?
easy.
Maybe
It was in your face. The costume was cheesy. I wore it on the
like the costume.
I walked out. My dad was teaching a lesson on how to
Dad, what did your dad think?
packs on horses. So he had all these he had all these people at the farm to teach how to put packs on horses. And I was on a break during I just had finished Stars on Ice. So I put on the whole cowboy outfit with the fake hat and the blue, white, and everything, and my dad's brand on one ass and my grandfather's brand on the other. Like, it was all hokey.
Costume was
I walked
great.
out with big bow leggings, and oh man, it was so much. That was a fun day. I loved skating that program. One night, the ice was melting. So on Stars on Ice in the US, we had about a half an inch of water everywhere. So of course that night I was swimming. Oh, it was so great. I don't.
Well, you know what? Maybe I should watch it back, because I probably never watched it after we did it, except the few times I saw it in the show, because I just felt pathetic.
Oh, I'm sorry that you felt that way, but
I did.
Don't watch it without me.
I feel better now. You made me feel better.
Don't watch it without me. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, Elton John. First time, I think that I really felt like there's 16,000 people here, and with this program, I can get them. Yeah. And it was really early in my career. Grand Canyon Suite competing. Beautiful.
With Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, the way you skated that, it was the kind of number and your performance that made people stand up 10 seconds before the end. It was one of those, where they're just standing. It was just very cool. Every night, Stars on Ice, gazillion cities, 65, whatever it was. It was pretty cool.
Back when people stood.
Yeah.
If you could read my.
Oh, I know.
Oof. That's its
own hour.
That's its own hour.
Yeah.
But that was,
pardon?
Luck Be a Lady was just a party for hockey skates, and trying to.
I like that one a lot. Yeah.
Showcase that hockey skates could be more than silly or whatever. Yeah,
and I love the way you performed it in Battle of the Blades. One for my baby.
You know what? Let's talk about Slippery Side Up a little bit.
Okay.
Because one of my favorite programs, like if I was stuck with 3 Minutes to Live and you could watch only one program that you would skate, I've seen Clown enough, but Slippery Side Up I loved the adventure that it was acting. That there was so much acting. It really wasn't it was like a departure from a skating number. You get in the tub, I've got to have a triple sow, I got to do a triple toe, the backflip at the end and all that stuff. But this wasn't. This was a mini play about a guy who wants that light. And
he just wants to be over there. I'm here, I'm over there. Now I'm over there, I want to be over there.
And I found
I'm here, no, I want to be over there.
Now that I'm here, I want to be over there.
Kind of life. right? I'm here. I want to be over there. Yeah.
Anyway, we
Okay.
could go on and on.
Serenade for Sonia. Aw.
Oh, that was a
That-
good message.
Yeah, that was
brilliant.
really fun to make for you guys.
Hell is for the way you look at me. I remember that photography very well. Singing in the rain.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, but I mean, Gene Kelly choreographed that one.
Yeah.
And
I
then
think we just held on to the coattails as hard as we could on that one. But
Yeah.
you know what? There was something that the ice gave it, which was really nice.
Yeah.
And there was wildly guilty feelings before performing it when 20 years later, when I turned it into a live program so that I could do it
Why?
so nice. It's like we did it in the show and then I never did it because I always wanted to wait till I was older.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly, I instinctively was like,
Yeah.
and it was so perfect the way we filmed it, and it was so wonderful. And I wore the skates with my sister. I gave my sister an old pair of skates, and then I wore those old skates instead, and then never took them off.
Yeah.
But Singing in the Rain is the one program where you can just relax. Like you've just fallen in love, and you can relax into it, and you didn't have to work during the skating. It was
you weren't chasing the music, you weren't chasing anything. Yeah.
But umbrella tricks and a hat to worry about.
And speaking of chasing, Hey Pachuco was one big chase. You were young and chasing.
I was intimidated by the first couple counts of 8 of Time in a Bottle, always. Just the back little back edges.
Yeah.
Those little figure eights.
I like that.
I always stood there every night. If you screw this up, the whole program's gone. But Pachuco with those jumps was
that was
down
hard.
the ice.
It was really hard.
Really physical.
Yeah.
Super physical. Fun.
That's entertainment?
That's Entertainment was a journey for the audience, I hope. But for me, every night, it literally was like going down the rabbit hole. It was such a nice skate with such a great little costume with the tie around my waist, and to have the creation of Gene Kelly again, or Fred Astaire, or whoever
just that
you were trying.
Yeah, that movie star dancer. And that was actually, I mean, there was a move in there. The Scarecrow was the birth of Raggy.
You're right. I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah, Scarecrow. Because I remember, and we did that in Lake Placid.
And I remember the ending with the dun, 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 dun. Then I had those back threes. Like that program made me a better skater.
How do you keep the music playing? We talked about Time in a Bottle. We talked about St. Louis Blues. That was your short program when you were still competing, and then it, I think it morphed into a show number. But I really liked the first 8 counts. I really liked the way that started. Yeah, I just saw somebody just sent it to me because I don't go looking for stuff I've done. And I thought, wow, I really, really liked that beginning. And that was kind of a cool short program for the time. But the beginning was really cool. Yeah.
It was some really awesome feet. It just felt right.
Yeah, it was just, and that was maybe kind of a little bit then developed into the bogey stuff, blink, blink, in the TV special, the little pops and that's where we used all of those ideas again. And it was sort of around the same time. Yeah. When you had your trench coat on off the top. Yeah. Okay. What else?
I don't think I had never taken.
Sorry?
I had never taken those 2 moments in over before. I had would listen to you, and I was listening to you, and I went, yeah, you're right. So that's kind of neat. You're sewing 2 parts of my life together as usual.
Yeah. Are You Lonesome Tonight? I liked that one. I loved your number with Katya and Christy. I loved that whole fever. Are You Lonesome Tonight? Christy's solo, Katya's solo, like that whole sequence in what you all had on, and their fuzzy little sweater, the little powder blue. I just thought they were gorgeous, and it was so hot. It really was between the three of you, that whole dynamic. So I really, really liked it. And I liked your number. Sorry?
I loved it too, of course. But the Stars and Ice used to have more time to develop things like that. And unfortunately, just with the reality of the world, we when we create Stars and Ice, we don't have that time anymore. Yeah. And I took more time to do when I was the boss of Stars and Ice one year and did more stuff, but it didn't last. So it's too bad, because those moments also around Brick House, Chrissy had her Oh So Quiet, and then we had a group wrapped around it as well.
And that was the whole little shimmy thing with Doug and Tuffy, I think, were in there, and there's
Rackamole and Susanna. No, Petri, Susanna.
Petri, and Susanna.
I watched Red Hat, talking about group numbers, Rolling Stones, and I watched what was it called? It was Queen. I watched Queen as well, with those big chairs that we had.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah. It was so fun.
Color My World was just a show opening. It wasn't really a number, was it?
I had afterwards, after the opening, I stood there and everyone painted me.
Everybody painted. Yeah. And then
I skated a solo. I don't think the solo was as important as the paint. So
it was a show opening, and the solo the solo part was secondary. Sorry, but it was all about the paint. It was all about Color Your World, going from white to coloring your world.
But I have a photograph of. I have a photograph of me in the tunnel after our 84th show, and they had painted 84 84th show. I have that photograph. Well, you and I have done. There isn't much we haven't done. There's not just together, but like in your world of skating and my world of skating, that's a big swath. And I hope it just gets even bigger, because I don't know when I'm going to stop skating. This COVID thing has really put the brakes on any training. I haven't skated since March, really, at all. And so that's months of just not skating. I don't know if I'll get back on the ice, but we'll see.
But last season, you were as sharp as you've ever been. Last season, you went with Battle and the In Your Blood and all the openings that we did. You were as good and as sharp as you've ever been in your life. And you were working out like crazy at ISOFIT, and we were all blown away by your quality. And it's a shame that COVID in a way is, cut that off, because you were on this kind of new trajectory in a way. And we were going to go back to Spain and do a show and all sorts of stuff, right? And so let's see what happens here, what's next, but we're not done yet.
Well, I did get back on the ice because Battle of the Blades is coming back, and I know that you will expect me in a group number or a step out or not, but I need to be ready for that. And I did do 5 months off, and then 3 days in, I did triple sound, triple toe, and 10 double axel. So still.
You still got it.
We get Battle of the Blades. You and I are going to be, working together again. You have a whole new cast of skaters and hockey players, and I think you're going to be revealing that cast in near proximity to when our interview with each other is going to be revealed. So it's an exciting time. You're working with an incredibly difficult situation that has been overlapped with COVID, making it triple difficult. So I think that the audience needs to understand what incredible headwind you're pushing against to make this show happen. So it's going to be different, and there's going to be massive changes. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the process, how difficult it's been, rewarding a little.
It's been quite a process because it's been a stop and start through all of this COVID stuff. I mean, we all stopped for a couple of months and figured, well, how are we going to do this? It's not going to happen. And then it slowly sort of became a maybe. And CBC actually didn't make the final decision until about 3 weeks ago. I mean, not a lot of time. We were working with the premise that yes, it would go, but they had to wait and couldn't commit. And they've been incredible because they are taking a chance. But we are being very, very careful about COVID, and with our protocol. Our COVID protocol is even more stringent than any government regulations because our cast and our crew and everybody's families are so important. And we're also doing this in a way that it doesn't tax the system in any way. I mean, there'll be testing daily and all of that, but it won't tax the public system in any way. So we have to be socially conscious as well. We're responding to the times and to what's been going on in the world. And we're doing our best to make a difference, and hope that our choices are good choices, but they certainly come from the right place. And it's a collaborative effort again, many people who are working on Battle of the Blades will be working from home. People will be watching the show from home, and working in that capacity. Like, there won't be any office people in the building or anything like that. But I think everyone knows that we are going to have screens around the rink, and we'll be able to invite live remote audiences from all over Canada. So in a way, we'll be even more connected to Canada in those live moments, which is going to be really cool. And it's, a technical nightmare, but it's really cool. We're doing everything socially distanced, so that's a challenge. Masks when necessary, that's a challenge. We also have to be fluid to change on a dime in case, the trend, the numbers go up or down or whatever. So we have to be fluid. But we feel like creativity is coming out of the restrictions. Our cast is amazing. They're fun, they're funny, they're all really good skaters. We've got some new figure skaters as well, who we're kind of introducing to Canada in a way. I mean, they're known in the figure skating world, but not necessarily to Canada. And, we're all just jumping in it together, right? Like, it's just, we're trying to make an entertaining show that touches the hearts of Canadians and does some good raising money for charity. Our cast. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. That's October 15th is our first one. Live. They're all live, 8 p.m. to the east.
This show has been so much fun because I grew up as a hockey player, not a figure skater.
Yeah.
And so to have this show bring the two worlds together has been so great. So it'll be an adventure to meet everybody, to see the new stories unfold, get to know their new charities, and to watch the chemistry between the teams grow and see who wins. Battle of the Blades, season 1,000,004. What is it? It's season 6? 6. Wow.
The first one was 2009. It's been this long period, but it's season 6, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Every year it's like, okay, we got through another one, and then we get a call for yet another. It's like, oh gosh. So I'm very grateful.
Cool. Well, we're all looking forward to it, and I'm excited to be a part of it somehow, some way. All will be revealed.
Yes.
And the S on your necklace stands for Sandra, I'm assuming, but it might as well stand for skating, because you have done so freaking much for anybody who's ever glided or wanted to watch somebody glide. And so, you know what, this is hokey, but on behalf of the skating world, thank you so much for falling in love with this sport, not giving up on this sport, and taking care of it like it's one of your babies. We love you.
I love you too, Kurt.
We need to get together off air and watch some skating and laugh and cry.
Yeah. Okay, it's a date.
So both of us, I think we'll see all of you on TV next time on Battle of the Blades, right?
Yes.
We'll see you all October 15th.
Thank you.
Sandra and everyone who joined us. Thank you, Tina, especially for setting this up. And just as you can tell, you know, we both love skating so much. We're lucky that we have had this lovely relationship for how many decades? All of them. And we'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
We'll do it again another 30 years.
Okay. Perfect. It's a date.
All right. Peace.
Bye.